Hello, students, parents, and educators. I am Dr. Mary Jo Taylor, and I work with the Regional Educational Laboratory under the U.S. Department of Education. And my role there is to work with various states in the Southeast to provide technical assistance and research support to state departments of educations, universities, and schools. We have been working with the Mississippi Department of Education and serve school districts in the state. And in this episode, we wanted to share with you some of the work that we're doing there and hope that you find value in trying out some of these ideas in your schools or at home. I think that the three districts in Mississippi, Laurel, Canton, and Columbus, have had such a unique opportunity here, not only to bolster the skills of interventionists and coaches, but also to create a place where students want to come to learn. One that works to build their confidence in reading grade level texts and to raise their interest and motivation to read. In a recent practice guide published by the What Works Clearinghouse under the U.S. Department of Education, there's a recommendation that focuses on building students' decoding skills so that they can read words accurately and automatically. And this video you will see in a few moments will bring to life some of the routines that will be used, that students can use to build their decoding skills so that they can read complex multisyllabic words.
What the teachers have found is that in using the multisyllabic system, this provides a strategy for their students which builds confidence in the students. So whether they are in a reading class or another class, they're able to use this strategy to help them to decipher and read the words, which in turn helps them to perform better in all their classes and on their assessments.
Greetings, fellow educators. I am the interventionist for the Exceptional Education Department in the Laurel School District. One thing I noticed when I was working with students of all ages really is that kids that struggle to read, they definitely don't even want to bother with long multisyllabic words. And I noticed that they would get to a difficult word, they might pronounce the first syllable, but then just garble and guess at the rest of the word. And then when we had this group from the REL come to explain to us about how to help students pronounce multisyllabic words, the research showed that's exactly what students are doing everywhere. They either skip the word or they can pronounce the first syllable and then just guess at the rest of the word. So after learning a couple of different methods, and our district prefers the second method, the routine of teaching students how to pronounce multisyllabic words. And it'll give the student a tool to be able to use going forward. And especially when I tell them on a state test, you get extended time, don't rush, figure out how to pronounce that word.
When words with multiple syllables that we can't pronounce appear in the text that are essential for understanding, we need to have a strategy to tackle those difficult words and the content we're required to read. The two instructional routines we are sharing can be used across different types of multisyllabic words. These are words that may or may not have many prefixes, or only suffixes, or they may have both prefixes and suffixes. The first routine teaches students how to identify prefixes and suffixes and vowel combinations to decode the multisyllabic word. Students identify and circle the prefixes and/or suffixes in the word. Then they underline the remaining vowel combinations. They loop under each part as they say it, and then they say the whole word. Impaired. So here are the simple steps in routine 1 for breaking words into parts and blending those parts together to sound out a word. Often, when we come across words in our reading that are very long and hard to read, we can follow these steps. It's important because it helps you break words into more manageable parts so that you can sound out the parts and blend them together to pronounce a word. Let's look at this word and follow the steps. In the first step, we circle the prefixes and the suffixes in the word. We would circle un because it is a prefix and able because it is a suffix. In step 2, we underline the vowel sounds that are left. We are going to underline the EA and O. We do this because we want each syllable to have a vowel sound in it. In step 3, we use a pencil to loop under each part as it is said. Unreasonable. Keep in mind that it doesn't really matter where the word is divided as long as you make sure to put a vowel or a vowel combination in each syllable. In step 4, we blend the parts together. Unreasonable. We know that un means not and able means capable of. So the word unreasonable means not capable of reason or explanation. Let's watch this in action.
Jeremiah, let's work together, continuing to break words into parts and then sound it out, like we've done before. The first thing that we do, Jeremiah, is look for prefixes and suffixes. Circle prefixes and suffixes in the word. So as we look at this word that we're going to work on, do you see any prefixes? What is the prefix?
Re.
Correct, it's re. Okay, you said the prefix was re, so we'll circle that. Are there any suffixes in the word? And what is it?
Ed.
Ed. The next thing we do, underline the remaining single vowels in vowel-consonant combination. So looking at the rest of the word, do you see any vowels or vowel combinations? What do you see?
Or.
Or.
ER.
ER. Okay, we got that. The third step is to loop under each word part as you say it. So I'm going to loop. Okay. Or. By blending the parts together and making it into a word that you recognize. Okay, so we're going to put it all together now. Reordered.
The second routine focuses on identifying the vowel or vowel combinations to determine the number of syllables in the word. Then the student breaks the word into parts with every syllable having a vowel in it and then blending those parts together to form a word. The teacher has students underline single vowel or vowel combinations, and the students count the vowels or combinations in the word to determine how many syllables are in the word. Then they break the word into parts and blend those parts together to sound out a word. So let's go through the steps in routine 2 to figure out this word. It has 4 steps. In the first step, we underline the vowel or vowel combinations. Remember, a lot of times the 2 vowels together make one sound. In this word, I am going to underline the U, the EA, the O, the A, and the E. In the second step, we count the number of vowel sounds to determine how many syllables are in the word. It's important to remember that each syllable has a vowel sound. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 5 syllables in this word. In step 3, we break the word into parts with every syllable having a vowel sound in it. Let's take a look at how this word is divided. And finally, let's blend each part to make a formal word. Unreasonable. Unreasonable. Let's look at a sample lesson of a teacher using this routine with a student.
Let's work together to continue breaking words apart. Okay, the first step over here is we underline single vowels and vowel or vowel consonant combinations. Let's find these in the word. Okay, so as you find the vowel or the vowel combination, I'll underline it for you. Okay? Okay, go ahead.
I,
No.
A, E, two E's,
Two E's.
E,
Okay. The second step is to count the number of vowel sounds to determine how many syllables are in the word. Okay, so let's count the number of vowels that you had in this word.
1,
2, 3, 4. So how many syllables are in the word?
4,
Go ahead.
What you've underlined.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many syllables are in this word?
4,
The third step is to break the word into parts with every syllable having a vowel sound in it. Okay, so let's break it into parts. You tell me where I should put the slash marks.
here,
Okay,
here,
okay.
here,
Okay. Okay. So let's blend the parts together to form a word. Disagreement. Let's say the word together. Disagreement.
Now it's your turn to practice. You will need a pencil and a piece of paper. I want you to follow routine 1 to break this word into parts. Before we begin, write this word on your own piece of paper. Now go ahead and follow the steps in this routine to break this word apart and blend the sounds together to form a word. Okay, let's take a look at how you did. The first step says to look for prefixes and suffixes and circle the prefixes and suffixes. I see that in this word there's prefix in the word. The prefix is miss, so I am going to circle the prefix miss. Step 2 says to underline the remaining single vowel and vowel combinations. So in this word, I see that the remaining vowels are I, and this vowel combination is underlined, OR. Step 3 says to loop under each word part as you say it. So you should have so. When we do that, we loop under the prefix miss, the syllable in, and the syllable form, and it should look like this. Last, we follow step 4, which is to say the whole word by blending those parts together, making it into a word you recognize. Misinform, misinform. Let's try another word using routine 1. First, write the word down on your paper. Now follow the steps in routine 1 that you see here and break the word part and blend the sounds together to form a word. Ready? Begin. Okay, let's take a look at this one. The first step says to look for the prefixes and suffixes and circle the prefixes and suffixes. I see that in this word you might have thought that there was a suffix ER at the end of the word. You will see that ER in this word really isn't a suffix. So the word does not have a suffix or a prefix. So we're going to jump to step 2. In step 2, it says to underline the remaining single vowel and vowel consonant combinations. So in this word, I see that the A is underlined, the second A in the word is underlined, and there's a third vowel in the word that is underlined, and the final ER combination is underlined. Step 3 says to loop under each word part as you say it. So we loop under here and say Sal, loop here, again under man, and then der, and yours should look like this. We know where to loop because we want to make sure that there's a vowel or a vowel combination in every syllable. Last, we follow step 4, which is to say the whole word by blending those parts together and making it into a word. So when we say this word, we blend those parts together by saying salamander. Now let's put it together. Salamander. I hope that's what you had. Now it's your turn to practice using routine 2. Write this word down on your piece of paper. Follow routine 2 to break this word into parts. Let's take a look at how you did. In the first step, we underlined the vowel or vowel combinations. Remember, a lot of times 2 vowels are together to make a sound, but here in this word, there are no vowel combinations, only single vowels are in this word. So I'm going to underline the A, and the E in this word. In the second step, we count the number of vowel sounds to determine how many syllables are in the word. It's important to remember every syllable has a vowel sound, so count with me. 1, 2, 3. There should be 3 syllables in this word. In step 3, we break the word into parts with every syllable having a vowel sound in it. And step 4 says, blend each part together to form a word you recognize. Now let's blend each one of these parts together to form a word. Transparent. You might have said par, but in this word, if that sound with the R doesn't make sense, try it with a long sound. So you'd say pair. So transparent. Transparent. Okay, one more. Write this word down on your piece of paper. Now follow the steps in routine 2. That's where you're counting the vowels. And let's break this word apart and sound the words together. Okay, let's take a look at how you did on this one. In the first step, we underlined the vowel or vowel combinations. So remember, sometimes there are 2 vowels, and that's the case here with the AI for the first vowel combination. And then we have a U, and we have an E. I think we found them all. In the second step, we're going to count the number of vowel or vowel combinations to see how many syllables. So we have 1, 2, 3. Looks like this word has 3 syllables. In step 3, we're going to break the word into parts, just making sure that every syllable has a vowel or a vowel combination in it. And that's where we put our breaks. And step 4 says to blend each part together to form a word that you recognize. So let's blend those parts together. AI says A, faithfulness. Let's blend them together. Faithfulness. The goal is to get automatic in utilizing one of the routines so that when you come to a word you don't know, you can quickly use this routine to break the word apart and blend the sounds together to make a word. Feel free to share this routine you've learned today with friends or someone who's just learning how to read, as it will be so helpful to them. Good luck with learning the use of these routines really well, and use them all the time so that it too helps you to read with ease. If you do, most assuredly, you'll be able to decode difficult multisyllabic words and grow into a strong and confident reader. Thank you so much for your kind attention today, and good luck to you.